I'm outside the fantastic new SpenValley Leisure Centre, the place that's going to transform health and leisure for North Kirklees. There's been a huge amount of work that's gone in. Together with Kirklees Council, our partners, Kirklees Active Leisure and Kia, we've delivered this fantastic building. It's going to be a massive opportunity for the local community. We're committed to health and care, we're committed to you, and we're committed to make sure that we actually support you through this hardship. So the end result is behind us. You can see that we work very, very hard, and I encourage you to all to use this fantastic facility.
Hello, I'm Councillor Khan and I'm the Cabinet Member responsible for health and adult social care in Kirklees. SpenValley Leisure Centre is a huge investment in the health and well-being of our Kirklees residents and will help to tackle some of the health inequalities faced by local communities. The new leisure facility will help to improve health outcomes for people in North Kirklees, and it's the Council's responsibility to meet health and well-being needs of people as they change over time. I'm delighted with the completion of SpenValley Leisure Centre, and I hope residents will take full advantage of these fantastic new facilities to help them live well for longer.
Welcome to SpenValley Leisure Centre.
Hello, my name's Peter Collins. I work for Kia and I am a contracts manager, and I've been involved with the job at SpenValley Leisure Centre since 2019. I first got involved in it at the tender stage, and it's not always the case that you get the chance to work through a job from the very, very start to the very, very end, but on this one I have had that opportunity, and particularly happy about that, seeing as I'm a local resident from Kirklees and only live 3 miles away in Dewsbury. We met with the client early in the process with Kirklees Council to set out some of the objectives that they wanted to get out of this project, and a lot of that was associated with support for the local community, a facility that would last for many, many years. The old Spenborough pool that was here lasted 50 years, and this building is built and designed to last in excess of that for the future. Council and the design team have provided a building that's much more fit for purpose than the previous facility was here, and they've incorporated both wet and dry fitness facilities all under one roof. In addition to that, the accessibility to the building is much improved, and also the facilities for school children and teaching is improved as well. So when we were successfully appointed for the job, it was clear that the council wanted a partner on this scheme, someone that could collaborate with us and with the design team, and that was something that we were really keen to embrace as well. We had a period of time when we were going through work with the design before we started on site in the early part of 2020, and just at the point when COVID landed. So although we had an aspiration of starting in March, the jobs started properly in May 2020, after the demolition of the old SpenValley pool had been completed by the council with a direct appointment. So this building site has a number of constraints that we had to cater for, both by the designers and by ourselves in the construction. To the east of the site there's a 750mm diameter water main, and to the south is one of the old existing sewers, both of which had large easements to them. In addition, the site slopes and is prone to flooding from the River Spen. In the time that I've been involved with the job, there have been 3 incidents, one in December 2019, one in February 2020, and again in 2021. The designers have created a building that will be combating that issue because it's elevated above the floodplain level. And this is one of the unique features of the build that we undertook, with large retaining walls. The old SpenValley pool had a basement plant room that used to flood, and that was one of the real issues that made it difficult to manage and operate. The earlier works that we undertook involved the drainage, and within the drainage there are large attenuation tanks, and again this is part of our environmental design that ensures that we don't contribute to the flooding that is local to this area. The attenuation tanks slow the flow of water away from the site into the watercourses, which is an essential part of what we're doing here. So we were successful in that stage, which enabled us to move on to the construction of the 2 pools. And this building's got an 8-lane 25-metre pool and a 20 by 10 activity pool with a movable floor, which is an interesting feature of what we have here, which we didn't have with the old pool. So just as the building work started, so did COVID, and we had to work out a way to take the project forward despite the difficulties of lockdown that the whole country was suffering from. Construction never actually stopped, and although people couldn't go to the offices, the site remained open throughout. The council were very understanding of the issues, and we worked together to work out how we could keep the job going despite shortages of labour at times and the risk of other health issues to the individuals coming to work. The industry worked under a safe operating procedure that was sanctioned by government. So one of the benefits of COVID, which there weren't many, was that the existing fitness suite had to close. Now the original plan was that suite would have stayed open all the way through the build process and then would have been demolished after the new facility was opened, which would have caused a lot of disruption at the opening time round about where we are now. Because it closed, we took the opportunity with the council to knock that down early and to complete all the car parking and external works as one build process, and that's why we're able to open the whole facility in one go this month. One of the objectives of the job was to use local labour as much as possible, and we found that as a real benefit during the COVID pandemic, because the people that were working on the job had a real vested interest in getting the job delivered and knew that they would actually contribute to the legacy that was in the environment and the community that they lived in. Hopefully many of those people also will get the benefits of using the facility. Kia are really delighted to have had the opportunity to have delivered this project with Kirklees Council and Kirklees Active Leisure, and are really pleased with the way it's turned out. The design is fantastic, and I think we've done a good job to bring that to life.
Good afternoon. My name is Eileen Fenton, and I've come this afternoon to have a little chat about swimming and to lead up to the opening of the new sports centre. I can't remember a time when I couldn't swim myself. My eldest sister taught me when I was very young, and she said I could swim very well by the time I was 2 years old. And I swam in the first international race across the channel from France to England, and fortunately won the race. They told us to get some goggles. Well, we didn't know what goggles to get. We searched throughout the country, couldn't find any goggles, and we knew that we wouldn't be allowed in without any goggles, so we got some motorbike goggles. And they were, of course, useless. But they let us go in. I had an accident of kind when I was in the channel. When I had been swimming for approximately 9 hours, my arm was slightly damaged because I had to throw the cup which I'd been drinking coffee from back into the boat, and it was quite a distance away, and that hurt my arm. When I continued to swim, it got more and more sore until eventually it hardly moved. So the only thing I could do was to take the bad arm, tuck it underneath my stomach and swim with the other arm. So that was my left arm. And although I was only about a mile and a half from the Dover harbour, it took me 6.5 more hours to get into land. I then spent every minute of my time coaching swimmers, mainly in my own club to start with, but then in fact I got one international swimmer after 1.5 years. Jean Oldroyd was her name, and she swam butterfly, which was a very new stroke at that time, and she swam in the Empire Games at Cardiff, and she did very well. And from then on I had someone who was an international swimmer in the club until I retired. One of the things that happened from doing all the coaching was that my swimmers got together and arranged for me to make an application to have an MBE. That pleases me a great deal, because if an association send for you to go, it isn't quite as good as when it's your own swimmers and your own people. Obviously I accepted it, and two of my nieces and my world record holder channel swimmer all went down together, and we had a wonderful day in the palace. Prince William presented me with the award. He's a lot taller than I thought he was, and he looked down and he had to bend over a long way to put the badge on my coat. I hate to be without the swimming now, because there's nothing gives you a better feeling. So I think that for me it's one of the best exercises you can have. Makes you feel really, really good. You don't realize how much until you do it. Other people can and probably would benefit an awful lot from it. I can see that the ones who do take part in sport do even tend to last a bit longer. I've almost proved that because I exercise every day of my life right up to now, and I have got to, not old yet, but I've got to 93. So it does help to have good exercise. So now you have a much better centre in SpenValley, and not only is it a good pool and good facilities, it's possible to get there if you need to by bus or by car or anyway, simple to get there, and that is a big thing.
I like swimming. I would splash my mum. And she doesn't even like water, but I'm gonna splash her. I love swimming because it's like a fun type of sport where you get to go around and splash. I like swimming because it's fun and it's exercise. But I need some armbands to swim. I like swimming because it's very fun and you get to go with your family. I like to splash my dad.
I like swimming because it helps me be fitter and I can then do more stuff. I love swimming because it's one of my greatest hobbies and I love lots of strokes to do in the swimming pool. I can do butterfly, front crawl, back crawl and breaststroke.
I like swimming because it gives you exercise and you can do lots of fun and you can do some more playing after you've done it.
I like swimming because I like splashing my mum and dad.
I like going in the water because it's fun. I can see other people's waggling legs with my goggles.
I like swimming because every year my grandma comes round and I used to swim in the old swimming baths with her and it's going to be fun. Yeah, I'm really excited because I think it'll be really fun to show her everything that's changed.
It's been fun watching it be built because it took a lot of time for being patient, and now it's been built and it's really good and it's happy. I liked when it was being built up and it was like I was so excited to get in and it was nice and warm to relax.
I loved it, like this lockdown, it was getting knocked down, then I came back from lockdown and it was just amazing. It just went up, it was just well despised.
I was excited for it to be rebuilt because the old building was getting a bit rusty and the new building is going to be proper cool, and they told me that they're going to have a lift up floor in it. In the small pool, it'll go up and down.
We watched from the playground when the old swimming pool got knocked down. I liked when the cranes and the wrecking ball was swinging into the old one.
Well, it was a satisfying experience because how the diggers from like plans how the structure was made.
I liked watching it go from the papers all the way up to being the design it has been. I'm really, really excited about going in because the old one was up for about 50 years and it was really interesting to see the changes going on.
Exercise is healthy because it keeps you fit, and if you don't get healthy, you won't be fit anymore, you'll just be weak. I think it's good to be healthy. Because you can get healthy and you can get stronger. So you can be growing big and you can be getting healthier.
Because if you didn't do exercise, you wouldn't be able to do lots of fun stuff. I like lifting weights, press-ups, and I like doing squats.
Health isn't good for you because then you can do sports and all that. I like being active. Exercise is healthy because it gets us strong and healthier than otherwise if we don't do exercises then we won't get fit. I like running around because exercise, it gives you energy so you can move around and keep fit. Health is important because it keeps you fitter. and you can do more stuff.
If I didn't do health and exercise, I would get obese. So I do it so I can do more stuff and I can play with others.
Health and exercise is important for everyone because it keeps you fit, and you can't run and do fun things if you don't, because you need the energy. I do boxing.
You know, when you play sports, you like, let's say if you like a different type of sport and then there's someone else who likes that other sport and you play together, you could be friends when you play sports.
Well, I'm really excited because my class is going to be the first people to see the swimming pool because we're going to do swimming lessons there.
Because we live over the road from it, we get first dibs on everything.